Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome to OITC meeting. One fine Saturday morning, I was sleeping tight in my bed. It was one of those chilly Bangalore mornings. It was one of those mornings where you don't feel like coming out of your sheets. The plan was set. I was determined to sleep the morning away. Suddenly, I heard a loud banging at my door. I woke up bewildered. It was one of my college mates. I opened the door and felt like smashing his head. He said, हम लोग होगेनिकल जा रहे हैं. आओगे तुम? There's one seat left out in the vehicle. चलना है? I didn't want to spoil my plans, but this guy was adamant. Somehow, he and later all my other friends in that vehicle persuaded me to go on that journey. A journey I did even without properly brushing my teeth. Believe me, it turned out to be an awesome trip. Hogenekel is this set of waterfalls, not just one, so many waterfalls, which you visit on like with a boat ride on the river Kaveri. It was the best boat ride in my life. And it was the best travel surprise in my life. So this set the tone. This set the tone in my life that this phrase, let life surprise you, is very apt. So in this meeting, I would look forward for each member to narrate their own experience at how life surprised them.
Less than 2 hours ago, I and my group of 6 friends were standing at the southern rim of Grand Canyon reading some warning boards. There were graphic pictures and some cartoons along with the warning signs saying, don't trek down and don't even think about hiking back up on the same day. Many of them have died trying and doing the same. So like reasonable people, we decided not to trek down. But we decided only to go to the next turn. And to the next, and to the very next, and to the next after that. Before we knew, 2 hours later, we were down at the bottom of the Grand Canyon looking at the Colorado River. That's when we realized our predicament. You see, unlike mountain hikes, the problem with canyon hikes is that the difficult part is on the way back. You have to climb the thing that you came down from. And without any permit, we were not allowed to stay at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. So we just had to come back. It was a harrowing trip back, and we nearly lost 2 of our friends to dehydration. But thankfully, we made it back. Now, looking back, it's one of the most awesome trips I've been part of, and that just happened suddenly, without planning, and just that we said yes to something that we weren't really thinking too much about. Good evening, Toastmasters. This is a special meeting today because we have 2 special guests who are going to take up some very significant role today and help us showcase different aspects of these roles that we all can benefit from and learn from. So I'm really looking forward to this meeting. I don't want to waste too much time with my speeches or anything like that, and I want the show to begin. So please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Nishant from Schneider Electric, who is going to be the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Nishant, all yours.
Looks like Nishant is facing some sort of an issue, and we'll probably wait for him to come back. Seems like he has an audio issue. Meanwhile, to begin with the meeting, my name is Mazahir and I'm playing the role of a general evaluator of today's meeting. And as a specific person, I'm looking at each one of you people, especially who have their videos on and those who are yet to switch on their video. One humble request, whenever it's your turn to speak, at least at that particular time, do switch on your video so we can see your expression. Are you happy or sad? Life always surprises us in a good way or a bad way possible. Let's go ahead and I'll wait for Nishant to come if he's available. Nishant, I would probably check on your audio. Can you unmute?
Hi, am I audible?
Very much. Yeah, go on.
1 second. Yeah, okay. Sorry for the delay, guys. Okay. So expect the unexpected. It's a very convenient dialogue that people keep throwing around when they're not sure of how to respond. Sir, what type of questions can I expect in the JEE entrance examination? Nishant, expect the unexpected. Nishant, what are your plans for 2020? Coronavirus sliding into the conversation and saying expect the unexpected and slithering out. An intern had recently asked me what kind of work he can expect after he joins the full-time employee. I just said, expect the unexpected and walked away. He hasn't contacted me after that encounter. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and a warm welcome to everyone to today's session of Orators in the Cloud. Expect the unexpected. What does the phrase mean though? It tries to convey that it's better to not be surprised by an unusual event. Anything could happen and probably will. I completely agree with this philosophy, as the struggles with life result from trying to control conditions that are beyond your capacity. We feel free and we think that we're in control because it gives us command over our lives. Yet unseen forces are at work in the background, which include karma, conscious and unconscious thoughts, and free will. Hence, let life surprise you has been chosen as a theme for this meeting, happening during an uncertain phase of our lives. I'm positive that the founder of Toastmasters International, Mr. Ralph C. Smedley, wouldn't have expected such a rapid growth and a global presence of the organization when he started with the club. He just saw need for the men in the community to learn how to speak, conduct meetings, plan programs, and work on committees. He wanted to help them and hence started the club, which was named as Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster being a popular term that referred to a person who gave toasts at banquets and the occasions.
I'll wait for Nishant's voice to come back. If it doesn't in next 10 seconds, I'll probably be
Movies.
introducing the tag team. Nishant, go on. Sorry, we did not hear after
Sorry.
you were talking about what a Toastmaster does back then. Go on from there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So, yeah, Ralph C. Smedley shouldn't have expected such a rapid growth and the global presence of the organization when he started with the club. He just saw a need for the men in the community to learn how to speak, conduct meetings, plan programs, and work on committees. He wanted to help them and hence started the club, which was known as Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster being a popular term that referred to a person who gave toasts at banquets and other occasions. Since 1924, Toastmasters International has helped people from diverse backgrounds become more confident speakers, communicators, and leaders. Not only Mr. Smedley, but also Bollywood loves the concept of expect the unexpected. Over the past 2 weeks, I managed to watch two movies, namely Jab We Met and Devdas. Don't ask me why Devdas. For those who haven't watched it, I'll just say one thing: expect a lot of drama. Anyway, both movies have a common theme of surprise when it comes to what life has to offer. The life of protagonist in Jab We Met takes a positive turn when he accidentally bumps into the chirpy Geet on a train, while on the other hand, the life of Devdas spirals downwards as he takes up alcohol to alleviate his pain. What I'm trying to convey is that anything can happen in the time that we're on the face of Earth, and we should just embrace the changes that are happening around us instead of being upset about them or blaming our horoscopes for circumstances which are not in our control. I live by this quote by Alice Walker, an American novelist: expect nothing, live frugally on surprise. Reading the session back to 2020, thanks for attending my TMoD talk. I hope I'm still audible. Yeah, thank you. Today's session is divided into 3 parts: prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. Before we dive into the prepared speeches section, I'd like to introduce a person who has been with Toastmasters for more than 3 years. And his list of titles he has earned till now, I'm sure, is more than the total accolades that I've earned in my entire life. So that list of accolades include, I'm just reading it out: winner of evaluation and table topics in area level contest, past president of JPMC, Bangalore Toastmasters Club, currently serving as an area director of area K1 under District 92, and he hosted the biggest event of district currently, Coronation 2020. According to him, surprises are happiness. Please welcome an ever enthusiastic Toastmaster and the general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Mazahir. Stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. Amazing people of orators in the cloud. My name is Mazahir and I'm playing the role of a general evaluator for today's meeting. We lost a little bit of time because of a technical glitch. I'm not going to expend this too much. However, as a general evaluator, it's my and the team that's going to support me to look at each and every aspect of this meeting, starting from the beginning till the end. I'll be noticing the meeting. To help me with this role, I have the tag team with me: T for timer, A for AhCounter, and G for Grammarian. To introduce the roles and responsibility of a timer, I request Toastmaster Shreya to please explain your role and responsibility for this meeting.
Thank you, Mazahir. You know how when you're talking on stage or in front of a bunch of people, you generally tend to lose track of time. This happens to me a lot, that I'm just happily going on about my speech and I'm thinking I'm nailing it. And then suddenly the timer shows his card and I don't expect the unexpected. And then I lose track of what I was going to say. And it comes all off as a real shock. So I'm hoping that today that does not happen to people and that everyone sticks to their timeline. The 2 speakers today, both of them have 5 to 7 minutes. The green card will be flashed at 5. I'm hoping that you guys can see this. At 6, you will have the yellow, and at 7, you will have the red. If everybody can see this, please, can you give me a thumbs up? Great. Apart from that, the evaluators, the speech evaluators have 1 to 3 minutes. 1 minute is when the green will be shown, the yellow at 2, and the red at 3. The tag team has 2 to 3 minutes for the evaluations, and the table topic speakers, as always, have 1 to 2 minutes. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Back to you, Mazahir.
Thank you so much. Let's have a huge round of virtual applause for a timer who's here to tell us to be on time. While you be on time, it's important to speak right without any pauses, extra crutches, fillers. That actually makes you sound beginner as a speaker. To help me do this role for the entire meeting, everybody who come on the dais and speak, I have a special person with me who's playing the role of an AhCounter for today's meeting. Toastmaster Supriya, over to you for your roles and responsibility.
Thank you, Mazahir. One morning, the sound of chai chai woke me up. I opened my eyes and found myself in the upper berth of train number 12626. It's Kerala Express. I got up and sat on the berth and was waiting for my watch to tick 9:40 a.m. because that's the scheduled arrival time at Vijayawada, which is my hometown. Just then I heard a voice say, Bommalu, Bommalu. It means toys in Telugu. I'm a person who never bought anything in train. For that matter, I never bought anything which I felt it's not worth the money ever in my life. But that was the first time in my life I felt like buying something and I bought the toy. I got down the train. I got on the train when my station arrived. When the train arrived at my station, and reached home. To my surprise, my sister, who got married a few months earlier, attended the door for me. And I had put the toy in her hand, and she told me that she took a pregnancy test that morning and it turned out to be positive. I was happy, shocked, and surprised all at the same time. I still don't know what made me buy the toy. I didn't know that my sister was gonna give me this news, but this is something which I don't know. I don't know if it's a coincidence or some kind of a telepathic connection between me and my sister. I don't even know if this is something that is apt for the theme, but I just felt like sharing this with you. Moving on, today I'm going to be the AhCounter for the session, and my responsibility is to keep track of the CRPFs used by the speakers. C stands for crutch words like etc. R stands for repetitions of the words. P stands for pauses, and F stands for fillers like, you know, so, etc. All the best to all the speakers. I'll share my report at the end of the session. Thank you. Over to the General Evaluator, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Wonderful AhCounter. Timer, one request. After every speaker is done, on the group chat, do mention the time. It becomes easy for an evaluator. And AhCounter request you to comprehend the report together in a manner that you would probably want to assign them with the total number of R's, ums, ers, and the fillers and everything else that was used. So towards the end, it becomes easy for you to give the report. Now, Shreya spoke about the timing aspect. AhCounter spoke about the CRPF. While you speak, it's important for you to speak wise, speak right. And to help us with our grammar, I have our grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Hind.
Thank you, General Evaluator. My role will be to look out for the use of grammar. Obviously, I won't be able to pass everything and give my comments as well as suggestions on everything. So I'll be mostly looking out for the construction of the sentence. So if you are going through a number of thoughts and weaving all of them in a single sentence, that is something that I want to look out for, because that is a strong tendency while we speak. So right now, when I ended my sentence with speak, there was a pause and there was clear communication that I ended there. That is also part of the grammar, by the way. Other than tenses and subject-verb agreement, obviously I'll be looking out for subject-verb agreement and tenses as well. But this will be my main point of focus. Other than that, I am here to introduce word of the day as well, which is very surprising that our essay has already used it. The word of the day is bewilder, which means confused or perplexed. And I thought that would be a very fitting word for the theme that we have. A couple of words on the theme: expect the unexpected. I think it's a misnomer. If you have expected, it is expected. How can you expect the unexpected? There is no real way to expect the unexpected. So basically, don't expect. With that, I'll hand it back to the General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's expect the unexpected from the timer, AhCounter, and Grammarian. I request Hind to post the word of the day in the chat so everybody can use it. Speakers, evaluators, table topic speaker, and everybody who comes right after this, please try to accommodate that in your vocabulary. It's good. On that note, I'll present my report towards the end of the meeting by call upon the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Nishant.
Am I audible now? Sorry, okay. Let's jump right into the prepared speeches section now. We have 2 prepared speeches today. And before I introduce this first speaker, I would like the evaluator, Toastmaster Ram, to read out the objectives of the speech.
Ram, you unmute.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. The purpose of the speech that Kiran is about to present comes from 2 things. He's already given a speech, he's received some feedback, and he's going to apply the feedback that he's already received to today's speech. Essentially, that's it. I'm going to watch. I have the notes that I've received from him that he was kind enough to share earlier. I'm going to watch how he's incorporated that feedback into his today's speech. In addition, I'll also look for comprehensive feedback that he may benefit from. And that includes all the things that as Toastmasters, we're supposed to keep in our minds: clarity, eye contact with the audience, gestures, awareness of the audience, vocal variety, how comfortable he is with the audience, how engaged he is, and most importantly, has he applied feedback? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ram. I was bewildered at first when I saw your background as the wind was syncing with the wind which is there in the background. And I think you're in the beach side or somewhere. So yeah, thank you. So when asked about what he thinks about surprises today, today's speaker said he loves surprises when they make someone happy. He's also a newbie to Toastmasters and wishes to become a public speaker as soon as possible.
Can you guys hear?
All right, on that note, let's hear the speaker number one. I would like to introduce the speaker number one as Toastmaster Kiran. Toastmaster Kiran, speaker number one. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mazahir. Can you guys see and hear me? Okay. How many of you guys love motorcycle trips? I also love traveling and exploring new places. I strongly believe traveling helps us to learn who we are and helps us to connect with ourselves more. Good evening, my fellow travelers. Have you forgotten something very important during your trips? Please raise your hand. All of us do forget, yes. And I also did forget something very crucial in my trip. So let's travel to Sikkim to find that out. We got the bike, packed the luggage, and headed towards Guwahati. The roads were very tough. We reached Guwahati that evening, and the next day we headed to get the permits. Why do you need the permits? Because Sikkim is surrounded by international borders. Getting the permits was a grueling task. I had to stand in a 2-kilometer long queue for at least 2 hours. My final destination was a beautiful lake. And the roads to the lake was just open for 3 months every year, as it's covered by snow for the rest of the year. But before reaching the lake, I had to stay at a place called Lachin, which is at an elevation of 8,800 feet above sea level. The oxygen levels were very low at that altitude, so we had to acclimatize ourselves. The journey to Lachin was an unforgettable experience. The roads were covered with a thick blanket of fog. The bike was piercing through the mountains along the mountain curves. Numerous waterfalls, lush greenery. The air was so pure, I could literally feel my lungs take in as much air as possible. Lachin was right at the top of those mountains. We reached Lachin that night. The temperature was less than 4 degrees centigrade. As I slept on the bed, it felt as if I'm sleeping on a block of ice, just like how prisoners were tortured in jails. The journey from Lachin to the final destination was just 67 kilometers. But how much time would it take there? Can anyone guess? It would take 3 hours for us to get there. Imagine, guys, 3 hours. As we started our journey from Lachin, yes, we did encounter something, another difficulty, yes, thanks to my great God. It started snowing heavily, and we had no place to seek shelter. We proceeded further, and we found an army camp. The army guys were kind enough to offer shelter. We bid adieu to the amazing soldiers who offered shelter to us, and they work in such harsh conditions. I'm proud of it. Salute to the Indian Army. As we proceeded further, I realized that I have missed something very important. That too when my wife was behind. I had forgotten to take a spare can of fuel. I had to make a choice. You reach the destination or go back. What would you do in that situation? Yes, you're right. I decided to go back. Just then, few bikers came in like angels. I was like, thank God. Okay, they understood my situation and they offered an extra can of fuel. I proceeded towards the final destination after overcoming many hurdles, numerous landslides along the road. After a few kilometers, I saw magic. Beautiful stretches of long road with snow-capped mountains on either sides. As we proceeded towards the final hairpin curve, we saw magic. A beautiful frozen lake right in the middle, surrounded by snow-capped mountains. It looked like a huge mountain of vanilla ice cream. It was Guru Dongmar Lake, one of the highest lakes in the world and in India, and at an elevation of 17,800 feet above sea level, which you can see in my background. Me and my partner did not speak to each other for a while. We just sat beside the lake along with our beautiful partner, not my wife, the machine. It was an amazing sight. Our connections with nature and ourselves grew very strong. After, like how I faced many hurdles and difficulties in reaching the destination, we also face many difficulties in our professional life and personal life. But will you stop? Don't stop there, guys, because difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kiran. And I'm really sorry. I think I dropped just before I was going to announce your speech title. The speech title was "Don't Stop," in case I hadn't told that before. And thank you for taking us on such a roller coaster trip of yours. And I somehow feel the urge to travel, especially while being locked down or by being quarantined in my house, as I just traveled back to my hometown. I am sure you must also be feeling the same now that everyone is in their houses. Let's go back to the next speech. And moving forward, the next speaker's etymological instincts made him believe that surprises can be broken up into sir, meaning brought way ahead, plus prizes. So I thought that, so he thought that it was an overvalued concept. That was until he was thrown a surprise party by his friends to celebrate his incredible failure in French language in high school. According to them, it was an optional subject, but the part was mandatory. Uh, please welcome Toastmaster Sumedh. And before that, I would like his evaluator to please tell the objective of the speech.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, TMoD, for calling me at the right time.
You're welcome.
As I am Sumedh's evaluator today, I saw the theme and I was pretty much surprised by the theme itself because it hasn't been brought up before. And I honestly believe that surprises need not be positive at times because sometimes they can be, let's say, they cannot be welcomed. For example, in my case, me and my flatmates had the biggest shock of our life when our washing machine stopped working and it was stuck in the go down right at the time of lockdown. But every bad surprise followed by a pleasant news is always welcome. And my landlord decided to sponsor a new washing machine as soon as non-essential services were lifted. With that being said, just like how the landlord brought joy to my life, I hope I'll find similar pleasure in evaluating Toastmaster Sumedh's speech. His speech is L1P2, and the pathway he has chosen is engaging humor. The objective of the speech is to give a speech on any topic and receive feedback based upon it. So that will be my job today. I have a sheet with me and I'll be evaluating them. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for the objectives. Please welcome Toastmaster Sumedh with the speech title. Now I'm going to tell the speech title and I won't be cut. The speech title is Awkward, AWWKWAARD. Awkward, Toastmaster Sumedh. Over to you.
He perused through the sheets of paper and he finally asked, "All right, Sumedh, of House Nadendla, son of Srinivas Nadendla, king of butterscotch mountain and chocolate alike, how would you deal with an awkward situation? Now, as much as I was prepared, this question caught me off guard. In other words, I was bewildered. The question was both thoughtful and thought-provoking. There aren't any ready-made answers to these questions. There are no solutions which say, how do you deal with awkwardness? You don't get that. And so I had to answer from my heart, which was rather unprecedented at that point of time because of the comedy act I was performing throughout the day. So here is how I responded. In my honorable opinion, I said, because that's how you say it, the best way to deal with awkwardness is to infuse levity, usually through a series of self-deprecating jokes. However, joking your way out is not a ubiquitous option and sometimes inappropriate, only sometimes. It also requires your brain to function properly, which most of the time, in most cases, is not the case. So I usually use a couple of methods to deal with awkward situations. The first of them is what I call pivoting. Pivoting means changing the topic of conversation. I'll give you an example. So I was on a dinner date with a girl and she was a complete blabbermouth. She was continuously talking about things I have never heard because I wasn't paying attention. So she was just a barrage of words were being flung towards me. And we sit down, we order pasta, and she's going on and on and on and on. We get our order, and I look down, and I realize that my pasta is moving without my intervention. And so my curious mind is involved in debugging that issue. That's when, bam, she asks me a question. A question I knew nothing about. A question because I wasn't listening. Now, how do I deal with this kind of a situation? How did I deal with this kind of a situation? So this is what I exactly did. I looked at her and I said, well, that's a very good question. I took the water mug, hereby represented in this Tweety jar, and I took 1 or 2 sips of water, put it back down and said, but before I answer your very good question, I would like to order up dessert. Would you like red velvet? I asked. And she said, oh, I love red velvet. And we forgot all about the previous conversation. Now that is exactly how you pivot. So the first technique when you are in an awkward situation is to pivot. Another way to deal with an awkward situation is what I call apparent effort, right? A mechanism to let people know that you're working on something while you actually are not. So I use most of these efforts in lifts. So lift is a concise electromagnetically insulated cube wherein you stand on a corner. So I go and I stand near the corner, I occupy the corner. Then usually an acquaintance comes in, and that is the most weird and awkward moments of your life generally. So this is what I do. I stare at them until I make eye contact with them. And the moment there is eye contact, I do a head nod like this. What's up? I don't say what's up, it's just the lip sync. That is to let them know that I acknowledge their existence in the lift, which I think I own. So after this initial handshake is done, then I shimmy my upper body towards them to make it look as if I want to reach out to them and talk to them and spend those precious moments in the lift with them. But I don't actually move. That is mostly because of this lady in front of me who is stopping me from moving. So now dejected, I plug my earphones and watch the pre-downloaded YouTube video that I downloaded just for this purpose. That is what I would call apparent effort. That means I actually tried putting in some effort, although I did not want to. And at the end of the day, I just give up. That is one other way of dealing with awkward situations. So in conclusion of my answer, I think awkwardness manifests itself from a very low threshold of embarrassment. And the ways I discussed today are just some ways to avoid embarrassment, is what I said. As I concluded my answer, he stood up, shook my hand, and thanked me for attending the interview. it was a long day already. He was tired of listening to my non-answers, and the only answer I actually gave was the last question, which was, how do you avoid an awkward situation? I kind of realized that he was continuously staring at me while I did present my answer, and that did not make much of any sense to what I was telling him. And then he had a smiley grin at the end of it, because he knew that I was bewildered, I was out of my body there. So he said someone from his team will contact me shortly. This incident happened 2 years ago. So it has been 2 years since, and I'm sure Arista has made the right decision in hiring me. So Ram and Abhijit, thank you for the opportunity of making me work here. While the rest of you, thank you for tuning in. That's all from my side. Thanks.
I'd clap, but I'm holding my phone. So thank you so much, Toastmaster. And as I think Mazahir is a fan of my face, so he's asked me to like turn my video. So if I can see me. So joking is our way out. Joking is my way out of many awkward situations, just like Chandler did in Friends. Whenever anything such thing happens to me, I just either nod it off with a joke or just ignore the person. But I think I'll incorporate the tips which you have given in today's session. Thank you so much. As we are done with the prepared speeches sessions for today, let's check the spontaneity of the participants in today's meeting and 2C slide into the table topic segment. Today's table topic master always get amused whenever he's hit by surprise. According to him, surprise is when things happen without any expectations. I quote him. He says that one such surprising moment was when he cleared the 10th exams. I mean, okay. To know more, I'd like to call upon the table topic master of today, Toastmaster Gurunath. It's all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nishant. Yes, you guys heard it right. So, during my 10th class, I was not well. And I had to not, and it was my exam time, and it was a board exams. And my parents were asked me to actually go there, prepare for at least for the passing marks and try to write some for the subjects. Basically for mathematics and science. That is the core subject for engineering. Then I had to write the exams and I was waiting for the results. I was not hoping for that I would at least get minimum 35 marks, passing marks. Then to my utter surprise, I got passed with first class. And then all my parents were also amused and surprised. That was one of my most surprising moments in my life. Now coming back to the next section of the meeting, so table topic section. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Myself, Gurunath. I'll be the table topic master for this session, and I'm going to have some topics wherein a kind of impromptu speeches given by all the speakers, and the speaker would get minimum 1 minute of time and max 2 minutes of time. Let's rock it. Yeah, and this is my first time hosting this table topic session, so hope it will be good and everything goes well. Who would like to go first? I need volunteers. Trust me, I have very simple topics and yet interesting. Come on, guys. You can raise your hand. Who would go first?
If no one is ready, I can volunteer.
No,
Nishant.
let's go with on role takers. Probably, yeah. Akshaya, would you like to go first? I think you are the only one to turn the cam on. So, non-volunteers. Okay, I'll just post. Pick a number between 1 to 6.
5.
Okay. So here it goes. In this pandemic situation, it is not safe.
Hello?
Hello? Am I audible?
Yeah. Okay, I think you're breaking in between. Hello?
Am I not audible?
Yes.
I'll post the question in the chat.
Guru, we can hear you, but the voice is soft and The video is shaky, so if you could repeat the topic, please. For
The topic is, in this pandemic situation, it is not safe to travel around the world. However, if you could given a chance to fly in a hot air balloon over any city in the world, which city would you choose and why? And over to Akshaya.
Hello, everyone. So I think I wrote this as an introduction for a meeting where I was about to speak, where Shreya was the Toastmaster for that meeting. So around last month in November, 3 of my friends, we booked a ticket from Mumbai to Milan. So we had this cheapest travel experience, and I was so excited because I had made some decent amount of money from my kind of internship, and I was okay with this. And I was in a position where I could afford this trip. So 3 of us, we sat together in a room and we decided that no matter what, in April, we are flying from Mumbai to Milan, YOLO. We just have one life. We have a credit card and this is done. And this is how this is going to work. We are going to rock Instagram. We are going to take all these pictures in the beautiful bridges and have this. So that was the time when there was this back picture that people take on the bridge and you posted on Instagram, and it was trending at that point of time. So I was like sealed. Like April is the month of 2020, and I'm gonna make Mumbai, and I'm gonna go to Milan and make this experience. I think if it is possible, I would like to take this balloon and fly to Milan. But I actually fly to Milan every day in my dreams. But then next day when I wake up, I realize that no, this is not possible, and this is what we have to live through. So if given a chance, I would like to take a hot air balloon and go to Milan and take some really beautiful pictures and spend some good time and come back. So that is my answer. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshaya. Yet, I'm also very more concerned about that Milan trip. It is one of my bucket list. Yeah, moving on to next speaker. Any next volunteer? Come on, guys. Oh, Hind. Okay. Hind is also a role taker. I'll just wait for non-role takers.
I'm just putting in my name. When you don't find a role taker, you can come back to me.
Any volunteers?
Gurunath, I'll take it.
Okay. Toastmaster Avinash. Can you pick a number between 1 to 5?
1.
All right.
I hope you started with me.
If you could given a chance to become a secret Santa for someone's life, what surprise would you like to give and who it would be? I'll just post the query topic into the chat so that we can get it out.
Okay. Who would it be? I think that's a great opportunity because you have nothing to lose. All you have to do is make someone happy. So you can think a lot of ways, because when we start thinking about ourselves, we will have some expectations. So we'll be disappointed. So the ball is in the other court. Who would I think my parents. So I have this dream of sending them to a world tour, which I have. So which I'm working on maybe. So I would like to give them maybe on one of their wedding anniversary, that I would like to plan a world trip for them and surprise them. So prepare everything and just send them on a trip so that they will entire world trip. Like as of now, it's risky, but I think I should wait for two more years, or maybe till everything recovers. But that would be the one I'd be looking out for. Apart from that, I have a dream of being part of the orphanage, handling an orphanage, such kind of a thing. Maybe for new orphans, I have this interest of I think it's very tough, right? So how people manage over there. Because being honest there is very important when people manage orphanages or any old age homes. So you have to be very honest and help them truly from the donations what you receive. Maybe one day I would like to be a secret Santa, and for some people maybe one orphanage or so, and handle that completely and drive them to their hope, to their dreams and success. So yeah, these two are my wishes, and I want to be secret Santa for. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Avinash. It was very thoughtful and narrating story. Yeah, who's next? Rahul, would you like to go for next topic? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Suppose you are a wildlife photographer come solo traveler, and you end up in the middle of dense forest while exploring the nature beauty. And all of a sudden, you notice a cheetah staring at you at a 20 feet distance. What would be your reaction in this situation? Over to Toastmaster Rahul. I'll just pause it for you.
Okay, going by the logic that I'm a solo traveler and I'm in a jungle, it is not going to happen anytime soon. But assuming that is the case, I would have definitely traveled with some kind of a weapon, let's say a knife or something. If push comes to shove, I'll be using that. But before that, all that I'm going to do is just climb a tree. As far I know, panthers climb a tree, but cheetahs, I'm not sure if they can climb a tree. So probably my first reaction would be to find a tree, try to climb on it. And I've also come across this psychological facts that if basically animals are scared of anything that is taller than them. So maybe I'll try to look taller by raising my hands or something. I mean, purely, but it's a WhatsApp forward, so I'm not sure if that's going to work. Or maybe I'm not going to risk my life based on a WhatsApp forward, so I'll probably just climb a tree. And yeah, pretty much that's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. I was actually expecting that you would take a snap because since you are a wildlife photographer. Right?
Oh.
Anyways, it was very well narrated. And who's next? Any volunteers? Otherwise, I would go to Hind. Toastmaster Ashwin, would you like to go for next topic? Okay. Yeah, here it goes. If you were given a chance to go back and cherish one of the most surprising moments happened in your life, what would it be and why? Over to Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gurunath, for that wonderful topic. So we've all lived moments that are worth reliving. I think that is exactly what my topic is about. It is about the moments that are worth reliving. So there are a lot of moments that have actually had a deep impact on me, but they haven't exactly given me a lot of happiness. And one moment that I cherish even today is the moment it took place in the December of 2013, if I'm not wrong. Yes, December of 2013. I finished my 10th standard in 2012, plus one and not 2014, and plus one and plus two in 2015 and 16. So in 2015 December, what happened was we were invited back to our school. Now, why invited back to our school? Well, I obviously finished my 10th, right? Well, the thing is, we had one English teacher in our school. Her name was Angelina Armstrong. And we all used to tease her like this because her second name was Armstrong. And being a last bencher, I was the first one who actually brought this movement of hashtag Armstrong to our class. And since then, she's always been behind my back. In fact, she even teases me like, you are the only Hosekota boy in the college and you will never even pass your 10th board. That is exactly how she used to tease me. And yes, I was a naughty guy. I didn't exactly do justice to my studies. But when when it was time for me to pull up my socks and when D-Day approached, when exams were done and results were up, I actually stood second in my class. So, well, from going to being someone who has zero expectations from you to being someone who's standing second in the class in terms of percentage, well, that is a moment that I would like to relive. That because going on the stage and when your same teacher who told that you're useless announces he's one of the exemplary performers of our academic year of the Sundays, it does actually bring a lot of happiness to you. So this is a moment that I would like to relive, and thank you for giving me that trip down the memory lane. Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin. Yeah, that's all I have. And do we go for a voting at this time or a timer? Do you have one for one more? Do you have one more?
Yeah, we have time for one more. If you want, we can even put in one more. Like we can have two also. So we do have time.
I think in the interest of time, we'll just go with one last if you wish to. That's fine. Gurunath, up to you.
So, one last. I think we'll give a chance to Hind. Here it goes. Travel alone to enter a world or a pilgrimage camp with family. Which one would you choose and why? Over to Toastmaster Hind. I'll just post it.
Yeah. Okay. I will choose pilgrimage with family, and the pilgrimage will be somewhere that I choose it to be. So, people say, at least in most of the religion, that the entire universe is constructed by the Almighty, right? So I'll just tell them that, why stick to Earth? We can go anywhere. Like, find a pilgrimage somewhere on Mars or somewhere. Elon Musk is working hard to get us there. So why not just, go to a pilgrimage somewhere which is not Earth? And this part of the trip, I will not tell them initially. I'll just tell them that I'll go on a pilgrimage with them. And then eventually, when the time comes of spending the money and of, deciding the place, that's when I'll drop the bomb. Traveling alone might be fun. It is fun sometimes. Well, it's never alone. If you stay in hostels and everything, it's always people, company, and everything. But pilgrimage sounds fun. A non-earthly pilgrimage sounds even more fun. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hind. Okay, in the interest of time, I will be handing over the session back to TMoD, Toastmaster Nishant. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gurunath, for such engaging, interesting topics. I really wanted to answer all of them, but I think I'm treated like an outsider over here. Just kidding. So, given the first table topic, I think I would like to go for Alaska and watch the Aurora Borealis live. As I have the stage, I can just speak about the various table topics, right? But in the interest of time, I'll just go to the next section, which is the evaluation session. And I would invite the general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Mazahir, to please take the stage.
Sure. Nishant, request you if you have any last comment towards the wrapping up your TMoD part, you can do it now. I'll evaluate you with the entire meeting separately.
I'd just like to conclude by saying that expect the unexpected is, in fact, a reality, Toastmaster Hind. I mean, you said it correctly that it's better not to expect only if you don't have to go through all this hustle. So yeah, just let the surprises in your life and don't try to get control of everything that is happening around you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nishant. Let's have a huge round of virtual applause for the role players thus far, including Toastmaster of the day, Nishant. Let's have a huge round of applause for all of them. I'm looking at people. Akshaya, please clap. Bhargav, no signs yet. Thank you, Ashwin. Moving on and taking the general evaluation to the next level possible, we heard two amazing speeches today, and they both are going to be evaluated by two speech evaluators. I would like to welcome on the screen our evaluator number one, numero uno, Toastmaster Ram. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. What a wonderful speech. Won't you all agree? I felt like I was traveling with him. The sensory overload, the amount of engagement with the audience, the way he brought in all of us by making so many kinds of very well planned but seemingly natural gestures made me feel just like I was part of that journey. Just for that, for quite a while, I was bewildered. And was I part of the trip, or was I a person who had to evaluate him? I mean, of course, life is not all sweet, so I'll have to play my role by being an evaluator. I'll do that in a minute. But all said and done, wonderful job, Kiran. It was wonderful. I've never been to Sikkim. After listening to you, I want to be there someday. On the positive side, quite a bit of what I said, I would give him kudos for all of that, including very rich language, words that express sensory feelings, things which engaged audience by asking so many nice questions, the twists and turns, feelings of patriotism, not easy to evoke, and especially when you're on screen like this, he created a situation where he got a salute to the armed forces. Wonderful stuff. On the areas which I think can benefit with a little bit more work, transitions. Somewhere in the introduction, the transition between Guwahati and Sikkim didn't really go off too well. The introduction to the problem or introduction to the story, inviting all of us was very nice. But a transition to when the journey started, I think could do with a little bit more polish or work. One other thing, maybe the number of pauses you had and the vocal variety. The vocal variety, essentially, I spotted too. I mean, it's not my own variety is very good, but there was a nice sine wave type of a speech pattern that I heard. I think a few more will help. All of them, whether things you were invoking which were emotional, things which were awesome, were essentially be divided between two varieties. Maybe a third or a fourth may help make the speech much richer and take it to that next level. But overall, a fantastic job. Thank you.
Let's have a huge round of applause for speech evaluator Ram and speaker Toastmaster Kiran. Thank you so much. Very well done. I do not want to add any extra comment to any of the evaluator because these guys are capable enough. So evaluator number 1 and evaluator number 2, if a speaker specific has any feedback that they would like to hear, I request you to please get in touch with your evaluator offline because I'm sure they write this much and they only read this much. Moving on to the evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Arjun. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mazahir. Contrary to the norms of evaluation, I'm going to save the best for the last, just like Sumedh saved red velvet cake and had rescued his dinner table. I'll start off with the points where he can actually improve his public speaking. The pace of the speech. I'm going to start with the pace of the speech because I felt that the rate at which he went off was pretty, I would say that it wasn't at a speed where it could have a deep impact on the audiences. Now, don't get me wrong. I was pretty bewildered when I saw the time as 6 minutes, 17 seconds. Although I felt that the speech had been only for like 2 minutes. I felt that he was really fast. I could comprehend each and every word, which is a positive. I could make out what all he was talking about, the question which he answered via his structured answer. But what I felt was that if he could have some emphasis on his words and sentences, he could probably get much better output out of his speech and could leave a deep impression on his audience. Coming to the tone of his voice, I felt he actually attempted well in changing the pitch of his voice with respect to the characters he tried to imitate. But I feel he can take it up a notch and try to add more different types of tones to his voice and more variety to it. The structure of the speech was pretty good until the conclusion. He started off with a question. He had a proper phased answer where he explained how he gets out of awkward situations. But I feel that the conclusion could have more substance to it and could have a deep impact on the audience once he's done giving his side of how he handles awkward situations. Now I'll go on to the desert, which is what I observed and which should be commended on. His expressions were amazing. I feel that had he matched his tone of voice with his expressions, it would have been a much better experience for us. But his expressions were really on point. And I really like the fact that he looked at the camera and tried to do the best he could with his facial expressions. The vocabulary which he used was amazing. I came across words which I'll have to look up in the dictionary later on. I'll probably take his speech as a reference for it. I really like the fact that he engaged a lot of humor in it. Personally, even I have taken this pathway, and the kind of humor we engage with is not suitable for public speaking. I really believe that the kind of jokes he tried to incorporate and the kind of wit he showcased was amazing. With that being said, I would like to end my evaluation. And if you have any more questions for me, you can always reach out to me. I'm just a phone call away. Thank you.
Let's have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Arjun and Toastmaster Sumedh. Quickly moving on with the tag team report. To begin with, our timer of today, Toastmaster Shreya. Over to you.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Yeah. Firstly, congratulations to everybody. I could not find reasons to put on the red card today. I was waiting for it. I think this is honestly the first time in an online meeting that we have been on time throughout. In fact, the table topics session started 1 minute before it was supposed to start. So this is a big kudos to all of us. We are very well known for being very tardy with time. Beginning the section, the essay and the presiding officer took about 2 minutes each, which was the time allotted. There was some delay with the TMoD. It took about 7 minutes, but I think it was because of technical issues, so that's okay. The introduction of the tag team took a bit more time, but again, all things that end well are good. The first speaker took 5 minutes 22 seconds. So I would again say that well within time. Maybe it could have extended by a half a minute more, but that's good. Second speaker, Sumedh, perfect timing, 6 minutes 14 seconds. You were right in the middle, like the sweet spot. The TTM speakers, again, everybody well within time. Akshaya took 1 minute 35 seconds. Avinash took 1 minute 42 seconds. Rahul, I don't know whether I have upgraded you a bit, but I think you stopped at 58 seconds. So I just added 2 more seconds to you. Ashwin, 1 minute 58 seconds. And Hind, 1 minute 8 seconds. So everybody was again well within time. Kudos to you guys. Even the evaluators, Ram took 2 minutes 30 seconds and Arjun took 2 minutes 43 seconds. So again, apart from maybe introductions, I have not gotten the chance today to show my red card to anyone. So great job. That's all I have today. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's have a huge round of applause for our timer today, Toastmaster Shreya, and all the speakers, everybody who came on the stage. As she said, nobody even came an inch close to red card. So thank you. Let's have another round of applause for all of them. Arjun, I'm looking at you. Thank you. All right, moving on to the number of counts of all these CRPF that was supposed to be counted by our counter. Supriya, over to you for your report.
Thank you, Mazahir. Before I go on with my report, I'd like to call out the flawless speaker of the day, and that would be Toastmaster Kiran. He used like no CRPFs used during his speech. Now, going on to the report, Bhargav SA has used like 4 CRPFs during his at the time of his introduction. Abhijit has used 2. Nishant, TMoD. It is expected due to the longer time that he has spoken. It is like 10 plus CRPFs that he has used, and most of it was like us that you have used. Mazahir, it's just 1 pause in between. Shreya has, during her introduction, she has used like 4 CRPFs. Hind, as a grammarian, he used like 2 CRPFs. Ram, Evaluator 1, during his introduction or when he was laying down the purpose, he has not used CRPFs. And Arjun has used 1 CRPF during when he was laying down the purpose. Sumedh has used 10 plus CRPFs during his speech. Gurunath has used again 10 plus CRPFs. Gurunath, here I would like to mention one thing to you. I feel like you used ands a lot of time. It can be you might be using that as a conjunction, but I feel it was too much of ands there in your sentences. So maybe next time you can keep that in mind whenever you're using and. Akshaya has used like 1 filler word in between. Avinash has used like 8 CRPFs. Rahul 4. Ashwin 8. And Hind, during his table topic speech, he has used 5 CRPFs. Ram, during his evaluation report, again you used 1 CRPF. It's actually good, Ram, because report is something which comes spontaneously, and I felt like you have done a really good job with respect to CRPFs there. Arjun, during his evaluation report, he used like 4 CRPFs, and Shreya, during her timer report, she used like 5 CRPFs. Yes, and one other suggestion to Sumedh that I would give is that during your speech, I felt that the way you're using your pauses, the way you might be pausing it for the speech, but it might seem to someone that you're pausing it like it is a CRPF kind of a pause. So maybe you can be conscious about that the next time that you speak. Over to Mazahir. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear it for our Toastmaster Supriya, our counter for today's meeting. Guys, important fact is that you must not even notice the time that you're taking to speak. Your timer is. You're not even aware that kind of pauses, the crutch word, the filler that you're using while you're actually speaking, but these people do. So understand the amount of listening skill that goes in this particular rule. So let's hear it for Toastmasters Shreya and Toastmasters Supriya once again, guys. Nishant, I'm looking at your video, not clapping. Thank you. Moving on to the third of tag. Timer done, AhCounter done. Grammarian, now it's your chance. Over to you, Toastmaster Hind.
Thank you, General Evaluator. First off, the word of the day. I'm not sure what the record was, but I think it was somewhere around 8 and 9. Can somebody correct me?
I think it was 8. I think it
8?
was 8.
Oh, then we equaled the record. Today the word of the day was spoken 8 times. That was great. Some of the speakers didn't use the word of the day, and one speaker, Sumedh, used it twice. Now it is really amazing the way people lap up the word of the day and use it, and it is really commendable. One thing that I would like to point out, this is very minor, by the way. Bewilder means confused. It does not mean surprised. There is a slight bit of difference over there. Moving on, the grammar. Let's touch upon some basic points. Tense. For most part, our tense was on point. The thing with speaking a non-speech kind of delivery is you are mostly speaking in the present tense. Like an evaluator will be speaking in the present tense. General evaluator will be speaking in the present tense. As long as we are speaking about today and in present tense, we stick to it. We are very well. As soon as we start talking about stories, or as soon as we start narrating stories, that is when the problem happens. I see it a lot of times that the storytellers in the virtual room right now, they jump from past to present and present to past. I'll not point out exactly the people who did it, but people who have narrated stories, you know. So whenever you are delivering a story, let me just take an example. Our speaker number 1, Kiran, who was narrating the story of his travel to Sikkim, and if the person is saying we had gone to the permit office and we were trying to get the permits, you cannot then after that say, and then we get our permits and then we move on, because that's not done. You were narrating the story in the past. You cannot just jump into the present. That is something that I see happening a lot of time with the tenses. Next up, subject verb agreements. There were a couple of fallacies in subject verb agreements, like he always get amused, he always gets amused, or basically the subject verb agreement is always about the subject is a singular and the verb that is being used as plural, and those there were very few. So a great job being done here. But then lastly, I would like to come to the point that I was looking out for the most, the single sentence tendency that we have in our speeches a lot of times. Now the timer has already shown me a red card, so I'll quickly go through it. I see it being done a lot, that people connect a lot of their thoughts in a single sentence, and the words that are mostly used for doing that is then, which was used by our speaker number 2, Sumedh, when he was describing his story in the lift. He said, then I did this, then I did that, then I did that. So that's a complete single sentence spread across at least a minute. Another person who did that a lot, so I'm just pointing out people, does not mean others don't do it. It's just those are some good examples for me to emphasize on my point. A speaker number 1, he, while narrating his story of Sikkim again, he used and a lot of time. So something happened, and then and I did this, and we did that, and so it keeps on going. Now a pause, it gives the audience some time to breathe and get a point across, and then if you follow it up with a new fresh sentence to make a newer point, I think it's much more impactful. Those are my pointers. Thank you very much for the time. Back to General Evaluator.
Let's hear it for Toastmaster Hind as a grammarian for today's meeting. Thank you so much for telling people in a nice way where they did good and where they need to improve. Moving on, and I'll keep it as quick as possible, the report of today's meeting. Let's have a huge round of applause to our Sergeant at Arms for starting the meeting well on time. And very good start with the whole theme in mind, and he explained like a story and everything was going great until the areas of improvement come in the picture. My dear friend, you missed the rule of an online meeting. We're meeting virtual. If you don't tell people to raise their thumbs up, or if you don't know how to clap, and do not mind me saying, however, prior to the meeting, I was requesting people to rename, and no disrespect to anybody because these tools are new. Some people did not know how to rename. It's good to tell so they remember for the next time. The minor point, whenever you take up Sergeant at Arms role for next time, please do use the rule. If possible, do talk about the mission statement of the club. It feels nice as to why did you really join this meeting. And you did a brilliant job, so thank you so much. Let's hear it for the Sergeant at Arms. Presiding Officer, I felt that there was a huge connect between the Sergeant at Arms and the Presiding Officer. It looked like it sounded like a story that started from here and it was continued by Abhijit. So thank you so much. It was going really well. He spoke a little bit about the importance. However, the main part that was missed today, and I say it main because imagine Abhijit and I be going for a party. It's for a people and we both were invited. People are coming and speaking with Abhijit and nobody came and spoke with me. What's going to happen? I'll feel I was left out. Similarly, your guest in the meeting feels left out if you do not even say, I welcome all the guests. Even if there is none, at least ask if there is anyone. So that was something missing. For a presiding officer, even for the future role, just ask, is there anybody who's joining for the first time? People raise their hand. Just put up an official statement, say, I as the president of the club or presiding officer, welcoming you to the meeting of orators in the cloud. It gives a nice feeling to a person. More like, you get more comfortable. Moving on to the Toastmaster of the day. Man, what a great start. Thank you so much. You're here for a special reason. My friend Nishant, you had a personal example, a story that you spoke about, you introduced and you welcome people to the club. Starting well with saying that, expect the unexpected to happen. Pretty much that happened with your network. I don't want to touch upon that. However, you definitely touched upon the Toastmaster, my friend. You spoke about why it is important. You spoke about a bit of history about it. And you explained the 3 sections which were well covered. Thank you. Overall, the content of your story could have been slightly more. However, I'll give you a benefit of doubt there because of your network. I feel could have been slightly better, but it happens. Let's say if I'm about to go for a competition and suddenly in this forum, like an online one, if my network goes, I think it does impact my confidence somewhere or the other. And that happened. So request you probably to repeat this if possible somewhere or other and see if that works for you. To my tag team, absolutely awesome job. So for Sergeant at Arms, Presiding Officer, Toastmaster, and the tag team, let's have a huge round of applause for all of them. You spoke about the timing. Everything was going really well. I think for your report, the only request that I would have, do mention the start time. So the general evaluator doesn't really have to think whether it has started on time or not. You can simply make a note of the meeting time started at example at 4:01, 4:03. So we will know when we look at the report back in, did we start all the meeting on time or not? AhCounter, you had an amazing story to start. I was actually waiting, when are you going to talk about the whole use of crutches and the pauses and the filler words? While you presented your report, I'm sorry, I don't understand what is CRPF 10 being used, CRPF 5 being used. If you specifically tell, and this is with Mazahir example, and I have this ring and what I used to do is, especially on the stage, I used to fiddle with it. Somebody told me this is a sign of nervousness. Somebody then said you have a habit of connecting, as what Hind was referring, and as a genture. Now, if you tell specifically to people, what is your crutch word? What is the filler that you often use? Some people have a habit of saying, like, very, very, all of this. If you tell people, they'll actually improvise on it rather than saying CRPF. Maybe for future, whosoever takes up the AhCounter role, do mention, if you don't want to take the name of the person, say which one were used the most and how can you avoid them for future. This is one tip for you. Thank you, you did a wonderful job. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Supriya. And moving on to Grammarian, one tiny little feedback that I have for you, and we all know how wonderful that you do in each and every role that you take. As a speaker, if I forget what I'm supposed to tell, I will not ask my audience. That will show that I was nervous and I did not make a note of it. So even if you forgot the count of the word of the day, do not ask people. It shows that you were not listening. It shows kind of a less confident that you are. Don't do that. Even if you forgot, even if you didn't write, it's okay. Let's move on. That's fine. That's the only request that I have for you. Quickly moving on before the timer shows me a red card. Table topic master. Man, let's hear it. A special round of applause for Toastmaster Guru. You did that for the very first time and you're absolutely awesome. My very first role, I remember I did with too much of hesitation, and I myself know how I did it. The only request is, whenever you happen to, and as a challenge, I would request you, Guru, take up the TTM again. Introduce what is table topic. Introduce the importance of it. When you probably introduce a speaker, say the topic, the name, and the topic. Give them some time to think about it. You're posting the topic you already know. Probably post it slightly before. My God, I'm already exceeding. Slightly before you even give the topic. So let's say if my topic is water, you already post it there and I will have a reference to look at. Don't give me and then post it. Otherwise, this will actually have me take a little more time than usual. All the table topic speakers, including you, let's have a huge round of applause for all of them. You guys did a wonderful job. I have it, the feedback for each table topic speaker. If you guys want to hear from me, you guys can post the call. And on that note, this meeting was a great meeting. Thank you so much, Abhijit, for giving me the opportunity as General Evaluator to proceed with the meeting. And for the closure, official, over to you, Presiding Officer, President Abhijit Kaul.
One quick thing. Mazahir, do you want to announce the winners for today?
Sir, I would probably have you do it. It's okay. You're the
president. We generally have the TMoD do it, but because we had a different...
My time is over. Before Shreya comes out of the screen and scream at me, I would probably want to give it to you.
Okay, all right. The only concern with that is I need to see the results. Somebody, SAA needs to send them out to me for me to be able to announce them.
I don't think the general voting link was sent out. I only see the Best-TTS voting link sent out. So I have sent out another voting link, which is for speakers. There's a pool of speakers and the evaluators, the pool of evaluators. You just vote for best speaker and best evaluator.
Mazahir did send out both of them.
Did he?
Yes.
I see only
I
one.
already voted on that.
I'll go with the president, Hind. Whatever he says.
So it's actually embedded at the end of that line, so it's not very obvious, but if you read between the lines, it's there.
We need 2 more votes.
Both the links have been already sent out by Mazahir.
Yes. So generally the person responsible for doing this is table topic master or the TMoD, and they generally have the results with them ahead of time. So I'm sorry, I don't have the results. So do we have, okay, I'm getting the results right now as we speak. All right, as we are waiting for the best table topic speaker, I'll start with the results that are coming my way. For best speaker, we had a fair bit of people who were contenders there. Everybody spoke really well. Enough has been said about it by Toastmaster Mazahir. So I'll just cut it short and I'll just go ahead and announce the best speaker for today is our guest speaker, Toastmaster Kiran, who completed his L1P2. So huge round of applause for him for coming here and delivering a brilliant speech today and winning this award. So thanks a lot and congratulations. Best evaluator. Well, I don't think we even need to look at the nominees there. Goes without saying, the purpose for which Mazahir came here, he justified it fully by giving everybody a great evaluation for the overall meeting. So with that, the best evaluator is Toastmaster Mazahir. Congratulations, Mazahir. And well, finally, that's one reason we generally don't call guests, because they come in and win all the awards. The best table topic speaker for today is Toastmaster Ashwin. Congratulations, Toastmaster Ashwin. I was just kidding. Please feel free to come again and win more awards. We'll tail you and eventually get it from you someday. All right, with that, thank you, Toastmaster Nishant, for coming here today and for saying yes to coming here today, rather, and enthralling us with a brilliant performance. I think the key to your performance was how smoothly and how gracefully you came back after every time stumbling because of something that was beyond your control. I think that's more important than kind of having a great start and having a great end. So a round of applause for Toastmaster Nishant for doing that. At this point, I think you are the one guest who has been here for the first time and have not heard from you about our meeting. So why don't you take this time to share your feedback with us?
Sure. Thank you, President Abhijit, for taking a chance to invite Mazahir, who then invited me. Thank you, Mazahir, for like considering me for the role of TMoD. And I just say that session was really beautiful. And the the one thing that our club lacks is the timing. And I see that this club is like spot on timings. And I think I messed it up by coming into this meeting. But I apologize for that again. But yeah, it was really good. It was really good experience. And I look forward to future meetings too. President Abhijit.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Nishant. We'll definitely love to have you back here. We definitely encourage all the members to attend your club meeting at some point and experience something new there. Toastmaster Mazahir, I was really looking forward to having you come over in some meeting and take up a major role and really, help us open some perspectives that we have really not really seen until now. So I think all of us got to learn a lot of it. Specifically, I mean, you demonstrated the art of constructive feedback, which really encompasses both motivating people in the right way for having them, inviting them coming back for more speeches and more roles in the future, but also very explicitly laying out the underpinnings that can not just make a certain speaker a better speaker, but also take a meeting from where it is to a better place. So thanks a lot for doing that. I also want to appreciate you for taking the center stage, because kind of apart from the TMoD is the next in line. So I think it's a great lesson whenever there are some technical difficulties, which are inevitable for this kind of a forum. There's somebody else stepping in to kind of guide the meetings and not ensure that there are no awkward silences that are there in the meeting. So round of applause, Mazahir, for doing that. Thanks a lot. I think there was a lot of learning for everybody. So great job there. Okay, as I present the closing notes last time as president of OITC, I want to take a couple of minutes to reflect back. It all started when I attended a demo meeting of a new club in the making in 2015, when I walked into this demo meeting and nonchalantly said yes to being the VP of Education. A year later, I said yes to being the president of the club. When I finally left that club and the country and moved back to India 3 years later, after being 3 years as a Toastmaster, I was thrown another challenge to go back and start a club in Arista, India. Again, I said yes. I heard a lot of skepticism when we were planning to roll out this club and were in the very initial stages. I heard skepticism about people showing up, about their willingness to pay $65 to be a part of anything. This is India, this is not US, I was told. I really thought, do I want to do this? I got many answers, believe me, but I chose yes. Here we are 9 months into this club. We have already seen our ups and downs. Our memberships have gone up, our memberships have gone down. But I truly consider this club as a success, not for me, but for all of us. You see, fundamentally, Toastmasters is nothing but just an idea. It's just an idea, and a club is nothing but a collection of people who share that idea, who are willing to believe in that idea and believe in that vision. And I can proudly say today, the group sitting here across at the back of behind these different cameras in your own personal living rooms, you all collectively share that idea and share that vision. And that one single thing is actually a measure of success of this club. I can say the same for the next group of officers who are going to lead this club. 9 months ago, I wished to pass the leadership baton to the next set of people at a point where I felt these people are going to take this club to a higher position than I could ever do. And I am very happy to say, and I'm really, really confident in my belief that this club is going places. With that, thanks for having me as your president for this term. I wished all the best to our next president and the committee. With that, have a great weekend and see you all next week.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Anybody who wishes to stay for a feedback post the meeting, they can. Meanwhile, Hind, if you want to take a picture before everybody goes off. And Bhargav, Avinash, please switch on your camera. This is a special moment for us and our dear President Toastmaster Abhijit, because the term is not yet over. We have 4 more days to go. So Hind, hold on, all right? Okay, guys, let's do a victory sign on the camera. It's okay. Nishant, victory sign. Yep. Who's clicking? Yeah. All right. Good. Thank you.
Done.
Done. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Amazing meeting. Really good. And if possible, invite me again as a as a different role player and invite people from different club as a different role player, because I'm sure everybody, whenever this has happened, and I would like to share a small experience over here. I am a person who believes in giving the best at each time. So there was this club which was about to open under my area, and I've heard about this person named Anurag. Now, the Anurag has done a brilliant Toastmaster of the Day job at OITC. Without a single doubt, I took this person, and everybody were on their toes when this person delivered the Toastmaster of the Day. Trust me, they were asking, is he a TEDx speaker or something of that sort? If you don't believe me, ask anybody from Sapiens how was Anurag. Similarly, what I found that if you probably happen to bring a speaker or an evaluator or a role player from outside, people do tend to listen to them a little extra, because as somebody already said, if the same person does a role again and again, at times it becomes slightly monotonous or boring. So please keep inviting me, keep inviting Ashwin. We have Nishant from Schneider Electric Toastmaster Club. There's one thing that I would like to mention about Schneider Electric. If you happen to have time and chance, do visit the club. This club speakers are as good as novelists. The kind of yeah, I know he's denying that right now, but that's what I can say.
Exaggeration, yeah.
Yeah.